guys, how are we blooming today? Welcome back to another episode of How the Lotus Bloomed. I am Enchantress, the Gypsy Lotus of Uniqueness, and this is How the Lotus Bloomed, where I give you the real, the raw, and the radiant moments that shape my healing journey. Today's topic conversation, what we're gonna talk about, is mindset. Mindset, and perspective, and why it matters so much when you're going on a healing journey. Why it's one of the main focuses or one of the things you need to really work hard on when you're going through your healing journey. All right, so mindset and why it matters so much. Um, so a couple years ago in 2021, no, in 2022, yes, in 2022, I ended up leaving a job. I ended up leaving a job. I'm not gonna say what was going on. Well, no, I can say what was going on. It was basically. I don't even have to say what was going on. Basically, why I left was because I took the wrong advice. I was listening to a lot of people. I had a lot of people in my head about a situation, and it was confusing me. And I took something happened one day, and I took that as my sign to that was my sign to go ahead and leave that energy for a moment. And I did need to leave that energy for a moment. I did end up back in that job 9 months later, but during that 9 months, I was felt like the longest 9 months of my life. I had never once I started working, I didn't really go without a job. There was literally a point in time where I was working 4 jobs, so I was always busy. Even as a kid, that's why I didn't even work a job until I actually went to college. Because even when I was in high school and stuff, I was in so many extracurricular activities that I was still always busy all the time. So I didn't know how to not be busy. Like in a way, I did, I guess, start putting my worth to my productivity. So it's like if I wasn't doing anything, it's like I felt weird to not. Oh, I don't have to go to work. Not even no. Not even oh I don't have to go to work, because of course we all wanted an off day. But I'm saying like in that moment for 9 months where it was like I really don't have nothing to do. Like I'm really, and then I felt even more guilty because it was like I came back to Atlanta to even help my mama, and I can't even help because I'm not in a position to help nobody. I ain't got nothing going on. But I felt like in that moment, and this is where mindset had to come into play, because it was like I had to realize in that moment and for those 9 months, because I had already spent so many years of my life literally going, I didn't stop. I hadn't stopped and really took the time to. Now, granted, I was already on my healing journey, and I already did heal some things, a lot of things actually, in that time or by that time. But there was still a lot of things I wasn't focused on because I was still always busy. So there were certain things I wasn't even allowing myself to sit with, or weren't even able to come to surface because I was blocking it from being able to, because I was always keeping myself busy, or I was putting something over it so it couldn't come up, right? And I had to realize, one, I needed that break. I needed to not be doing that for a while, because I needed to figure out what did I really even want to do. Then I had to figure out a plan for myself. Then I had to figure out, well, why isn't everything, why I'm planning and nothing's happening. Then I had to figure out it's not about my plan, it's about God's plan. And once I did that, things started shifting, things started moving. I was back at that work, and even at the second when I got back to that time, oh my God, it was 10 times different. It was 10 times better. Um, I ended up with more opportunities. I ended up being a cheer coach. I ended up literally going from immediately from that into now being a teacher the next school year. And Then I just finished, like, things have been elevating since then. And that's all because I sat with myself and I sat and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna let this defeat me. Now, granted, I'm still human, so of course at first it was. It took a minute for me to actually get to the mindset that okay, this is happening for a reason, and I'm supposed to be sitting with this for a reason and allowing this to happen to me because it's for a reason. Yes, let me take this time to not have to do nothing like that. Let me relax. Okay, now I have more time where I can hang out with friends. I can hang out and do this. Or then that also gave me more time to figure out this business stuff, figure out what I need to do for Most High and why He gave me the gift that He gave me, um, or the gifts that He gave me. So I need to stop saying He, but just yeah, like really just having to sit with that and be uncomfortable. I had to sit and be uncomfortable with that for a while. Having to fix and change your mindset is not easy, especially because our minds have been shaped and formed since we came out, since we were born. Um, we've been developing our minds to think and process things certain ways. So when we have to change that way and change the way we think and change the way our minds go through certain cycles, it's hard. It is very hard to change the way you think, especially when you've been used to thinking something for X amount of years. It's very hard to get out of that mindset when you're so used to that. Again, it's always going to be easier to be in a stagnant energy than it is to be human. It's always easier to stay comfortable than it is to be uncomfortable. And a lot of people don't want to be uncomfortable, and that's why they don't want to heal, and that's why they're in the positions that they're in. I'm not saying your life is just gonna suck forever. Everything is always gonna be bad just because you don't heal. I'm not gonna say that because it's not true. But life can always be 10 times better if you did. Um, it's amazing the things that life can unlock when you actually do heal. It's amazing things that life can unlock when you change your mindset towards things. When you're in the mindset of going to work every day and you telling yourself you don't like going to work every day, you're creating a negative mindset towards your job, and then don't be surprised if one day you lose that job. Then you gonna be even mad because you gonna be like, "Well, dang, I actually like that job. I don't want to get the job." But you was sitting there complaining the whole time. This so God said, "Oh, I guess you don't want it, so let me take it." You have to be very, very careful. And the mindset does affect a lot of things that you end up saying. It affects the way you think of yourself and talk over yourself. The way you think of yourself is the way you will talk over yourself. The way you talk over yourself, words or spells and curses. So be careful what you're saying to yourself. Um, with me learning that I had to just be uncomfortable for a while, and even right now I'm in an uncomfortable situation, and but I'm okay with that because I know it's gonna work out the same way it did 2 years ago for me, 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, whatever it was. It's gonna work out for me in that same way. It's gonna resolve itself because I already planted the seeds and I'm being obedient with Most High already, and I'm always staying in alignment. That's the thing. That redirection was protection. That redirection was what I needed at the time. Because I needed that moment to revamp and reevaluate myself and renew myself in a different way so I could show up in the world as my better self. And I'm still showing up and learning how to show up. I'm still showing up and learning how to show up for myself better. Um, I don't know why I just started thinking like, what if my lash day look at this and be like, girl, you messing with that eye a lot. I am. Sorry. My appointment tomorrow. Okay. But yeah, so I guess I really thought that was gonna be a long conversation. It's not. And that's okay. It's okay. Because right now I'm also getting out of perfectionism. We're not gonna talk about that right now. Or we can. Because why does our minds tell us that everything has to be perfect? What is it? And then like we hear so much and we know so much that there is no such thing as perfect. But we created what perfect what we consider perfect in our head, and that's that mindset. You have to change your definition of perfect, and perfect might look different depending on each thing. me just getting out here today and doing what I'm supposed to do and not procrastinating and actually setting up this camera and doing these readings and doing how to Lotus bloom and giving y'all this advice and doing all this and about to have a self-care day and run some errands and all this other stuff that I plan on doing today. It's perfect. I don't need my videos to be all 30-minute long. Oh, we just have to go in extra depth and da 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 da. Perspective matters, mindset matters. Thing, the mindset, it is hard to. I would say it's easier. The tool I would say to use, because I'm gonna just keep giving y'all different tools y'all can use. Journaling is a tool. So when it comes to trying to change mindsets, I would recommend one, a lot of mirror work, like talking to yourself in the mirror, telling yourself, like actively like telling yourself, because that will help with the brain recognition of things. So that, and I would say affirmations. The more you affirm certain things, it will help the mindset to really think of it as true. The more you affirm something to be true, the more your brain will believe it, understand it, and will not change it to be anything else. Okay, so I had a lash on my face or something. So yeah. So when it comes to mindset, just don't get. It's a mindset is something. It's gonna. This is probably why this is not a long video this time, because mindset is something that's gonna like repetitively come up, repeatedly come. I don't know. It's gonna come up a lot. It is, because mindset matters, and I can't think of every instant right now where, or different ways you could change your mindset, because I can't think of something to change my mindset about right now. But the mindset is something you really do have to work on over time, like as you are healing the other things and unearthing those things and coming up and having to sit with those things, you're going to naturally have to revamp your mindset in regards to those things, in regards to your triggers, in regards to how you face life and how you, when something triggers you, how are you going to look at it? Are you going to look at it like, again, that's why I even name certain things the way I name them. This is how the Lotus bloom, because this is how did I go from being the rose, well, the lotus with one leaf left, to now fully bloomed and looking beautiful and all this other stuff. So it's, and what the hell is not, oh, what the F, why did it keep happening to me? No, what the hell? Why is it, what is this telling me to heal? What is this lesson? What do I need to learn? What do I need to face about this? Mindset, perspective matters. You cannot keep looking at things as, oh my God, everything is against me. And everything is not always against you. Again, rejection is protection. Rejection is redirection. It's anything. So you never know. So you have to really, it's going to come up a lot. So that's why I'm not even tripping about this video not being long, because it's going to come up so much. And yeah, so I would start, when it comes to mindset, just pay attention to the things that come up with you. And of course, it's easier said than done. But of course, when you get a negative thought, try to think 3 things positive, or yeah. So start with that. When you get a negative thought, go say 3 affirmations in the mirror. Do a lot of mirror work. Even if you're crying in the mirror, talk to yourself. Even while you're crying, telling yourself how beautiful you are, how it's okay to cry, assuring yourself that it's safe to do this. Um, and just write a lot of affirmations. Maybe even make yourself an affirmation jar, so that even at any given moment, if you feel like you can't naturally think of something, you can still pull it out the jar and remind yourself of whatever that is, so that your mindset can eventually start changing over time. Because mindset is a thing that's going to have to change over time. And it's going to take longer than a week to change your mindset, because there's so many things that your mindset has to do with. All right. So thank y'all for blooming with me today. Healing does get messy before it gets magical, but it is for you to claim and for you to choose to do. And your journey is for you and not for anybody else. So I thank you. If you know anybody who needs to change their mindset or is struggling with their mindset and their perspectives on life right now, share this video with them. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we healing. We're not staying in that stagnant energy. We not living life angry. Oh, she furious. forever. We not doing that. We not being bitter. We not for to be the bitter generation. We not for to be the disease-filled generation because we harboring all them old emotions that's just showing up in our bodies in different ways. But we're not gonna start that conversation today. But all right, I thank you guys for tuning in and watching and listening to me today. And if you do want to book a session with me, I know this wasn't like a reading thing, but if you want to book a session with me, all that is available on my Instagram, Enchanted with Woo.